Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE Money in the Bank 2019, which was broadcast on May 19th, 2019. Lots of 19s. So the first, overall, I really liked this pay-per-view. It was like just enough ridiculous that it made me laugh at times. And then there were also some really amazing moments, both finishes and just in matches that I liked a lot. And I do need to go back and watch at least a couple of these matches again. And I'll mention those matches as I go down the card. Now, the first 2 hours, including the kickoff show, so I didn't really pay attention during the kickoff show at all until the first match. But I watched them on mute, because until 5 p.m. Pacific time, which was an hour into the actual show, I was in the Comic-Con Revolution, working my table, and then there's a little bit after that I also was tearing everything down. So these first 4 matches I did pay attention to mostly, except for the Cruiserweight match. That's when I was tearing everything down. But, oh man, I think watching without sound made the women's ladder match, like, I don't know if it made it better, but it was, like, really fun to watch without the sound. But, anyway, we opened up, on the kickoff show, we had the Usos defeat Daniel Bryan and Rowan, and I was shocked for a second. I was like, oh my gosh, is this actually happening? Are they SmackDown Tag Team Champions again? But it was not a title match. I didn't know that. But I think now it's plausible that they could go after the actual titles. And I feel like the Usos, they've got to be on SmackDown. Like, they're just so good on SmackDown, and their stuff on Raw is just dumb. They're like, it's like 2 different Usos, yeah, 4 different Usos. But yeah, we'll see where all of that goes. And of course, I didn't watch this with sound, so I don't know what commentary was saying or anything like that. I did have subtitles on, or captioning on, but it was like delayed enough that it was just kind of confusing for me, because I'm not used to that. Usually when I watch stuff with captions, it is not like the live captions. It's for like scripted shows, so it happens like in time. Anyway, the first match of the actual show, we had the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I really liked a few of the moments throughout here, but this match overall wasn't nearly as crazy as the men's ladder match, but I feel like that's fine. That's totally fine. We don't need more people, especially on the Raw roster, women's roster, getting injured with huge risk type stuff. But there was a lot of fun stuff in here. We had Nikki spinning her ladder, hitting people with it. We had an awesome running knee across, like running up a ladder that was propped up into the corner by Mandy. That was maybe my favorite move of not of the entire night, but of the entire match for sure. Naomi jumped on a couple of the ladders that the other ladies were holding as like platforms. That was pretty cool. But then she got they were about to smash her with the two ladders, and then they ended up smashing into each other after that. That was fun. I also really like Naomi's gear. She's dressed as Bumblebee. That was pretty cool. And then Sonya got involved after Carmella. Well, Carmella got hurt, and she came back and tried to get some revenge on Mandy. But Sonya was there to handle business, and she ended up carrying Mandy up the ladder. That was amazing. It would have been pretty awesome if Mandy had won. And I think that's oh man, that method is so much cooler than how Carmella won with help by that one guy. But they did not win. Mandy did not win because Bayley climbed up the ladder real quick, pushed them off, because they were in a pretty precarious situation. It was fine with just the two of them on there, but then Bayley climbed up the other side, pushed them off, and Bayley wins the contract. And I'm pretty excited for that. That's awesome for her. Up next, we had Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe. Rey rolled up Joe and won the United States Championship, but Joe's shoulder, opposite from the referee, was up. So that's going to be some controversy. And Rey went and just, went off. Or, sorry, Joe went off on Rey afterwards, after Dominic came out to celebrate a little bit. So I'm excited to see what happens there. And, man, Joe was just covered in blood. I think it was all from his nose, but some of it had gotten onto his eye, so it looked like his eye was all messed up. But before he came out and attacked again, he wiped off some of it, so it was clear. Okay, his eye is okay. That's good. Because just a bloody nose, unless it's a broken nose, even if it is a broken nose, that's a lot more workable than if his his occipital lobe, is it occipital or orbital, occipital, or I don't know, where the bone around your eye that gets messed up, then you're out for a long time. But anyway, yeah, that match in the aftermath was pretty good. Then we had, I didn't put a line between these, so I thought there's actually 5 matches that I watched on mute. But Shane defeated The Miz via escape. Honestly, I didn't really pay attention to this match either. This one, the end of it was happening while I was starting to tear down. So I do want to go back and watch that a little bit, just because, yeah, it's a cage match. There's got to be some good stuff in there, I think, or maybe not so good stuff. I did see a couple of GIFs that people posted, mainly the one of the Miz's Frog Splash. But anyway, then we had Tony Nese versus Daivari. I did not pay attention to this one at all, so I do need to go back and watch this. But Tony Nese won, so I'm glad for that. I would have been happy for Daivari if he won as well. Daivari made his entrance in a Mercedes. That was pretty cool. But it was kind of, I don't know. I feel like it could have been, his entrance and Naomi's entrance, those felt like WrestleMania type entrances, just scaled down a little bit. But I think there needs to be more entrances need to be special, even more special on these other pay-per-views, to make the pay-per-views more fun. They're already pretty fun. Then we had Roman come out and squash Elias after Elias sang a song that I did not hear or anything. So maybe I'll go back and watch that. What were my predictions? I think I've been wrong about everything to this point. I think I chose Nese as the winner. I thought that he would win. But then we had the friggin' amazing match. Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. There's so much to talk about this match. Just go watch this if you haven't seen this yet. If you have seen it yet, go back and watch it again. I'm definitely going to go watch it again. My favorite moment of the entire night was Seth going for the curb stomp and AJ counters it into the Styles Clash. That was so cool. I was watching that in my car as I was eating, after having finished packing up the show and everything from the show. And that was so cool. I totally skipped. I totally skipped the Becky matches. That was weird. How did I skip those? Anyway, AJ versus Seth. That one counter is worth watching the match, and yet the entire rest of the match is friggin' awesome too. It's great. It's great. So Seth is still the champion, Universal Champion, but that's okay because this match is. I hope we get these two fight each other again sometime soon. Going back, we had Becky defeat Lacey Evans in the Raw Women's Championship match. I actually missed the ending of this match because I went to use the restroom real quick. And then I came back and Charlotte was coming out. I was like, crap, I missed it. But Becky still has her 2 belts. I assume that's what happened, that Becky just defeated Lacey. I guess there was some stuff. I saw people talking about how the ending was kind of weird. Again, I didn't see the actual ending, so I have no comment on that. I do want to go back and watch this because these two, everything after this point was pretty cool. Charlotte defeated Becky because Lacey came back out, and while the referee was distracted a bit, she hit Becky with that women's right, and Charlotte got the upper hand and won the SmackDown Women's Championship. But then Bayley comes out, fights them off of Becky, pulls them apart, gets them away from Becky, and drives Charlotte into the ring post, and Charlotte's just like knocked out, and Bayley thinks about it for a second, like, okay, I'm doing this. She goes and grabs a contract, gives it to the referee, cashes in, hits the big elbow drop, and wins the SmackDown Women's Championship. So that was pretty great. I thought Alexa Bliss's cash-in last year was awesome. This one was even better, and I'm super happy for Bayley. So I guess that means Becky, she's back to just one championship, and she's over on Raw now. I guess we'll see if she appears on SmackDown every now and then. She maybe wants to challenge Bayley to get it back or something. I don't know, but the automatic rematches aren't a thing anymore, I guess. We'll see what happens there. This match happened, or not even a match. Lucha House Party, I guess they came out, it was going to be a 6-man tag team match, but the other team that they were going to fight never even came out, so I don't even know who it was supposed to be. It doesn't even matter if there even was supposed to be another team, because apparently Lars Sullivan came out and attacked them, but this all took place within like the 5 minutes of me getting out of my car and getting all my stuff back into my hotel room. This whole segment happened, so I missed it completely. Then we had Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens. I thought this was pretty good. I didn't pay the most attention to it. So I do want to go back and watch this one again. This whole pay-per-view, I kind of wish that I had actually been there and seen it in person. But it was still really fun to watch anyway. Kofi won. Kofi Mania continues, and I'm pleased with that. And then the Money in the Bank ladder match. Holy crap. Especially Andrade. Well, Finn is, I don't know how he's still alive, first of all. Same with Ali. And who else took a whole lot of punishment in here? And Ricochet. There wasn't a whole lot of Ricochet craziness. I was kind of hoping for that. But since he didn't win, I think that's okay. That he didn't do too much craziness. But Finn, oh my God, poor guy. He's got to be icing everything today and yesterday. And even before, he was probably icing before this match even started. But man, Andrade, he has two of the greatest moves in this match. He had the friggin' sunset powerbomb flip off of the ladder into another ladder to Finn Balor. That was insane. And like it was like a very well crafted like physics problem. It felt like I was questioning why it was put together exactly how it was, and then that happened, and we're like, oh, okay, it did exactly what it was supposed to do, because Andrade didn't actually land on the ladder. It was interesting. It was really interesting how that worked out. Like, it's physical. I don't know if that is exactly how it was supposed to work, but it certainly seemed like it was. And then we also got the Spanish fly off of a ladder. That was great. Oh man, I definitely want to go back and watch this whole match again. But the ending, I think it was Ali's. Everybody had been cleared out. Ali was just about to go climb that ladder, get that contract, when, earlier in the night, Sami Zayn was found hanging upside down, like strung up, unconscious, and, was it Shane or who was he talking? Triple H? Was it Triple H he talked to? Braun was asked to leave because it was assumed that he was the one who did that to Sami Zayn. But it isn't. I'm sure we'll get this explained a little bit on Monday, but I think we're meant to believe that it was actually Brock Lesnar who did it, because Brock Lesnar enters in Sami and Braun's spot as the 8th man in the match, and he wins the Money in the Bank contract without really even doing anything, which I thought was very, very funny. I was laughing because it's so ridiculous. And personally, I would much prefer if Brock Lesnar is going to be around, or actually not be around, but his presence is known, then it makes a lot more sense for him to have something like this than the actual title, because he doesn't have to defend this Money in the Bank contract, and when it isn't defended, it's not a problem, because it's not something that is normally put on the line in a match anyway, although it certainly could be. But I'm imagining that Paul Heyman comes out all the time just pestering either Seth or Kofi, could be both, pestering them week after week, teasing that Brock Lesnar might be there to cash in. And I could see Paul Heyman having that contract with him this entire time, because Brock's not carrying that thing around with him. Paul Heyman's going to carry it with him. So I think the possibilities here are pretty good, and I'm pretty excited to see what happens. I think it's going to be better than the last two men's Money in the Bank winners, because they had two failures. Baron Corbin failed his cash in. Braun Strowman failed his. So now we have Brock Lesnar. Whenever he does cash in, he's gonna win. He is gonna win the championship, whatever championship that is. But this prolongs that, and I think it could be a lot of fun until that happens. And even when it does happen, I think that could potentially be pretty good. So yeah, that's my take on that. I think there's potential for it to be enjoyable. I'm not gonna just immediately throw up my hands like, oh, this is awful, it's gonna be the worst Money in the Bank, Mr. Money in the Beast reign ever, or whatever. It could be amazing, and I think it makes the most sense for somebody who isn't actually there all the time, but who has someone who can be there all the time on his behalf and just screw with people. And I think that's going to be really good. So, go watch Seth versus AJ. Seth versus AJ. Man, that match is fantastic. So that's it for Money in the Bank 2019. I'll be watching Raw at some point, not as it airs, because I'll be in the air as it airs. And but I will try to watch it when I get home at the very least, so I can see what the fallout is. We have this new championship being announced by Mick Foley. I hope it's some kind of variation of the hardcore championship that can be defended anywhere, anytime, because that could be awesome. Have every now and then just random matches happening on Facebook Live or Instagram or all the social media, or even just on the network. That's like, oh, suddenly out of nowhere, here we have a match that's taking place out in a field somewhere, or at a truck stop, or in the airport, or at the performance center, even in the gym. So Yeah, I hope that's what it is. If it's not that, like, it's built up so much in my head that I probably will be a little bit disappointed if it's not that. But I don't know. There's so many WWE championships. It's got to be something different. It can't just be another U.S. title or another Intercontinental title. It's got to be something special, different. So yeah, we'll see what happens over on Monday Night Raw. Let me know what you thought about Money in the Bank by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. And I'll be back real soon. So thanks for listening. Stay safe out there in all the infinite universes. And I'll be back real soon with more here on TIW Podcast. Bye.